Day 8 of the Cleveland Way starts in Robin Hood's Bay. Head south towards Ravenscar, the town that never was, before eventually dropping down into the Victorian seaside resort of Scarborough.
Day 8 of the Cleveland Way, Robin Hood's Bay to Scarborough. 12 miles, 1,811 feet climbs. Let's go.
Cleveland Way goes up the hill here, but the tide's out, so we're going to walk on the beach.
It's actually the end of the coast to coast walk with the Wainwright Bay Hotel.
Cleveland Way goes up that way, but we're going to go down there.
Remember from previous videos that Robin Hood's Bay was known back in the day for smuggling.
It's quite a moody day. A lot of sea threat about, and we're heading to Ravenscar, our first port of call. It's quite common for people when doing the Cleveland Way, if the tide's out at any section, they cut across the beach. That's what we're doing. Robin Hood's Bay.
So this is Boggle Hole, where it's a youth hostel for accommodation. We'll put a link to the website in the description below.
We have taken the Cleveland Way. You come down this pathway here, and you'll be going back up the cliff up here. We're going to go this way.
The beach cuts out quite a lot of ups and downs and saves our little legs, which means it'll give us extra time, maybe for a cheeky pint at Ravenscar. The coastline is known as the Jurassic Coast. Not because it featured in the Jurassic Park films, but there has been remains of dinosaurs and fossils. Ooh.
It's also worth bearing in mind when you're walking by the cliffs to try and stay a fair distance away from them, just in case of a landslide.
The Cleveland Way does come down and back up again here, and there's also a bridge there. We've missed out on a bridge twirl.
We'll get one later.
We'll get one later.
Ravenscar's getting closer and closer. Still a lot of sea fresh on it though. So we haven't come very far at all, and look at all this beach. There's hardly anybody down here. Some of this ground's quite slippy. Need good boots. The mist has just started to clear, and you can just about make out Raven Hall.
Fly, Nick, fly to Ravenhall. Robin Hood's Bay is all the way back there. Woof. The other bonus with walking this beach line is that we get to see some very special locals that live just below the cliff underneath Ravenshall. One of the biggest seal colonies on the east coast, so we have to be very mindful where we're stepping.
It's a stark reminder of the dangers of walking too close to the cliff. This is a recent slide in. Had you been digging about at the edge there?
Squished.
Squished.
Even closer to Ravenshall, you can just see it peeking above the cliff there.
Absolutely stunning. It's quite a lot of ups and downs, but now we've got a 700-foot climb up the cliff. And Jill is off. She's climbing up the cliff, climbing into the sunshine.
Robin Hood's Bay way into the distance. The Cleveland Way runs all along the top of these cliffs with a few ups and downs, or you come all along the coastline. Perfect day. Nice purple heather. Precaution. Keep quiet, no sudden movements, and always have your dog on lead. Frozen popsicles. Welcome to Ravenscar.
Finally passing Ravenhall.
Ravenscar is known as the town that never was. In the late 1800s, a developer bought all the land, did loads of plans, built the hotel, and then in the early 1900s went bankrupt. So, the town that never was.
Thank you. So a little break at the ice cream shop, and now we pick up the Cleveland Way all the way back to Scarborough. Just leaving Ravenscar behind. Walking on top of the cliff now. It's very steep. Heading into
Statondale. This is the Coast Guard lookout, and it's from World War II. Harsh winter.
Got any aftershave on, but I'm still being bombarded by millions of flies. Doesn't make any sense.
Anti-mosquito head nets. A solution for these pesky flies.
Begone, flies. Well, this actually works. No more flies. But I also can't see very well. Leaving Statondale.
Can't actually believe how good these net things are. Like, I don't know if it's just because they're taking the concentration away from the flies, or whether the flies just think that we look so ridiculous they stay away. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. So you may recognise this little area that we're going to. Yorkshire's Hidden Cove.
This is the start of our very long and steep descent into Hayburn Wyke. Let's go. Very well constructed walkways, but they have to be maintained quite regularly. Very nice. Entering Hayburn Wyke.
Yorkshire's secret cove. And we've got it all to ourselves again.
It's quite a steep ascent out of that cove. About to leave Hayburn Wyke.
We've been walking all along these cliffs and further for about 8 miles now. Fly nets are back on because there's millions of flies. Ooh, it's minging.
Descent into dark woodland. Views are starting to clear a little bit. You can almost make out Castle Headland. Move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it. You really did like to move it, didn't you? Sorry, cow. I'm gonna give me the stink eye now. I was just trying to be friendly. Oh. For whatever reason, even though we're going through lots of ferns, there's no flies this time. Look at these cliffs. Absolutely stunning. Probably coming up to the final 3 miles now, so say an hour left.
4 miles.
Lots of ups and downs on this section. And all the way up again. A lot of hard work has gone into these fields.
Rolling, 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 get those hay balls rolling. So many downs and ups. Oh, make it stop.
All the way down there and then all the way back up. You can now just make out the faint outline of Scarborough Castle in the distance. Julie's still walking on the Cleveland Way, and over here now we can make out Scarborough Castle, Oliver's Mount. That's our final stop.
Another Coast Guard lookout from World War II, but in 1993 they changed it into a bird watching station. How cool!
There's been plenty of nice benches all the way along on this walk. Here's another one. Look at that for a cracking view. And yet another bench. Scarborough Castle a lot clearer now. What's happened to Jilly? Jilly, we've still got 2 miles to go. Jilly.
Oh no.
We're going to have to get a move on now because there's an 80% chance of heavy lightning and storms. And we can hear some rumbles in the distance. So yeah, this bit we're going to do very quickly. Scarborough Castle, looking moody. Such a peaceful walk. It's lovely and quiet. Ah!
Not only are we on the Cleveland Way, but this is the start of the Tabular Hills walk. Wonder where that goes.
From the very furthest point and way further, we've walked along all these cliffs, in and out and up and down.
It's a lovely bench of this section of the Cleveland Way, and it looks back over all the way you've walked, the millions of miles, well 12 miles, but it feels like a million.
Another nice bench. Just look at that view. Got Scarborough Castle and the whites of the North Bay. Lovely. One final descent before we land in Scarborough. Here you've got the end point of Scarborough Beck as it flows past Scarborough Mills and out into the sea.
Here we are in Scarborough.
We made it!
We made it. So Nicholas, what was your worst and best bit of day 8 of the Cleveland Way?
Well, the worst bit was those horrible flies. Ugh. It was like something out of a horror movie. But the best bit was that ice cream from that lovely ice cream shop in Ravenscar.
Delicious.
What about you, Jilly? What was your best and worst bit?
My worst bit, I would say, was all the unnecessary downs and ups, and my best bit was definitely a picnic in the secret cove.
That was lovely. Bye!
Bye!
Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're going